Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I'm recording live from the Secret Sauce group. And hello to my friends who are watching live in the group right now. If you're not a part of the group and you're listening later, guess what? You gotta join us in the Secret Sauce and emotional eating. Just go to Facebook and type in Secret Sauce, and that's where we talk about lots of things surrounding just not overeating in the holidays and just getting a better sense of a feeling of control around food and taking care of ourselves and really making our lives matter and really feeling like we are our own best advocate. So that's what we do there in the Secret Sauce group. So please join us there. And if you're joining the podcast for the first time, I just want to say welcome. I was 50 pounds overweight and like really struggled miserably with food and weight. And it wasn't until I got help about 30 years ago that I was able to turn things around. And so what I do is I share with people all that I do and I've been shown to do to overcome emotional eating. And so this is the right place to be. We don't focus on diets here. We don't focus on weight loss here. It's all about the underlying causes, because guess what? You're probably not stupid and you probably know what to eat and what not to eat. So that is clearly not, oops, I gotta turn my phone off. Hold on. Turn that off. Let me turn my phone off right here. So hold on. Sorry, Kimmy. These things happen. Okay. As I was saying, so we don't focus on weight loss. We don't focus on diets. We focus on the underlying causes of what's driving our eating, our emotional eating. So if that's what you're looking for, if you don't know if you're an emotional eater, the best thing to do is take the quiz that's on the website, the Heal Your Hunger, healyourhunger.com. So take the quiz, find out if you're an emotional eater or a food addict, get that information so you know better how to help yourself with our support. So yeah, I'm super psyched about that. And yeah, just glad that you've joined us here. So what I'm gonna do now is introduce my awesome guest. I'm getting these messages. Stop it. How do you turn How do you turn WhatsApp off? Oh my God.
I don't know.
Oh my God. This person is texting me and I'm just
You're gonna have to put it under something.
Log out from all designs to log out. I'm logging out. Okay. All right, now I'm back to business. So I'm excited to introduce to you my special guest for today, Kim Hamer. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you, Tricia. Always good to see you.
Great to be with you. I adore you. And just so you guys know about Kim, what we're going to be talking about today is her incredible book, which is called 100 Acts of Love, The Girlfriend's Guide to Loving Your Friend Through Cancer or Loss. There is no better gift idea than this. And in the show notes, we're going to put the link to the book. And if you're watching live or later in the Facebook group, you can grab the link from the comment section. So let me tell you about Kim so you know who I'm talking to. On April 16th, 2009, Kim Hamer lost her 44-year-old husband to cancer. They had 3 children who were 12, 9, and 7 at the time, while her husband had cancer. And after he died, Kim was surprised and humbled by the creative and thoughtful ways their friends, coworkers, and sometimes strangers supported them. She started calling these kind actions acts of love. In 2013, she founded 100actsoflove.com, a blog where she continues to share interesting and inspired ways to support those in crisis. Kim currently lives in Los Angeles, and she's an amazing woman. To discover her more unique ways to help your girlfriend in crisis, go to 100actsoflove.com. And Kim, thank you for this act of love. This is the most incredible book, and I really wanted to talk about it now at this time of year because it is such a great gift idea. But whenever anybody's listening, this is a great gift idea. And this is for anybody who has somebody who's going through something hard, so you know what to give them, what to do for them, what to say to them. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for like just being such a great champion of the book and of what I'm doing. I so love you, Tricia.
I love you too, sweetie. And this is so important because I think we're all a little tongue-tied when we hear of a friend who has cancer. And I am guilty of sometimes not doing anything because I'm like paralyzed and I don't know what I'm like, oh, I got to do something, like, oh, what should I do? I got to do something. Oh, maybe I'll send a card, or maybe I'll send flowers. Oh, what's their address? Oh, damn it. I don't know what their address is. And this goes on until all of a sudden a month goes by and I haven't done anything. And I mean, usually I've done something, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm just like analysis by paralysis, or a paralysis by analysis. And that's why this is such a critical topic. And just so you guys know, who are listening and watching, this book is, first of all, I'm going to hold it up. It's beautiful. It's like a coffee table book, but it's also incredibly illustrated. So it's super, like, these tips are not, so it's not heavy reading. You can pick it up at any point, and it has 100 tips, literally 100 tips. And if you go to the table of contents, what's cool about it is, like, chapter 1, don't say, if you need anything, let me know. OMG. Like, what is that? Not the first thing we say. So I'll go, we're going to go chapter by chapter here. So why should you not say that?
So that is a great question. And I just want everyone to know that I joke that I wrote the book for myself because this is the kind of book I needed before my husband got cancer. I didn't know what to say or what to do. And I was such a victim of the paralysis by analysis. And then the guilt, right? So let's like bring it back into the whole food thing. It was just one more thing for me to feel guilty about and to like just pile on my guilt pile, which of course led me to eat sometimes. So
exactly.
I wrote this as a way to kind of relieve people from that guilt. So why you shouldn't say, if you need anything, let me know. Here's the bottom line. It's way too general and it's way too much. You are asking the person who needs your help to, one, figure out what you mean by anything. Now, I know when you say it, most people, when they say it, they mean like anything. Like, if you have a flat tire and you live in Alaska, I will get on a plane and I will help you change it. And I will go pick up your snotty-nosed 4-year-old from preschool. But really, when it comes down to it, we don't mean anything. Really, like, Tricia, I'm happy to get you pick up a gallon of milk if you need it. I'm not going to be the one who's going to hold your hair when you're vomiting. So anything is too big a topic for your friend with cancer to wrap their head around. That's the first reason. The second reason is, most of the time, it's the first time they've had cancer or dealing with whatever crisis. So they have no idea what it is they need. Right. They just don't know. I didn't know. And a lot of these tips in the books are things that people said, you need this. And I was like, oh, you're so right. I didn't even think about that. So they have no idea. And the third thing, let's just say that they know what they need, and they have an idea that they're going to take that risk and call you. You are asking them to, one, reach out to you when they're in a time of crisis, a time of kind of pulling in and fear, to reach out to you and ask you to do something that you may not even want to do. So it's way too risky when this person is already feeling extremely vulnerable to make that leap. So those are the 3 reasons this is just not a good saying. And the other thing too is, please, if you said it, it's okay. We've all said it. The nice thing about it is you get a do-over. You can go back to your friend with cancer and go, oh my God, I didn't even realize how not helpful that was. So here's a statement I'm going to say to you that is very helpful. And I usually tell people, just be specific about what you want to help with, and offer more than once.
Yeah, and you also don't have to apologize for saying it. Just go back and dig deeper into it and say, here are some things I could do. What would be helpful to you, right?
Exactly.
Take a few from this book. You take a few tips from the book and say, here are things I'm prepared to do. Tell me the number one that would help you the most right now.
Exactly. And giving them some options is great. I mean, it's, a lot of the times they don't, like I said, they don't know what they need. And if you've got 3 different options from 3 different sections in the book, then they're really happy they can pick something that works for them. And then you're off and running and they feel really cared for and loved. I
love that. That's so completely cool. So this is really to me, this is the girlfriend's guide, period. Like, this
Yeah.
is because it doesn't have to be cancer or loss. It's like, we all have friends who go through stuff. We go through stuff. And the
Yes.
fact is, it's really, on a good day, it's hard to ask for help. Like, when we have our faculties about us and we're feeling good about ourselves, it's really uncomfortable in our culture to ask for help, period. And so if we're not good at it, then even though we have a good excuse, if somebody's like we're a caretaking right now, it's, we haven't gotten over that hump because we haven't practiced it when we were feeling good. So it's like, it's even harder when we're feeling bad.
Exactly.
So this is really awesome. So I'm going to just keep looking through so people know what this book is like. So, the chapter 2 says, be a human being, not a human doing. What do you mean by that?
That's one of my favorite ones, right? Because one of the things I love about this country is we are big on doing, right? We're big on taking action. We're just so good at that. But sometimes in that doing, we forget really the most important thing is the being. And that's why I actually put it as chapter number 2, because even if you do nothing, don't go out and get toilet paper. Don't fill a car with gas. Don't put a cooler by your front door. Don't bring a warm cup of coffee every day. If even you do none of those things, if you just call your friend up and just be her friend, be a human being, that's what she or he is going to most appreciate. So
let me tell you, because what comes to mind for me is I don't want to be a bother. Like, I'm thinking she's got her hands full. She's stressed out. Everybody's calling her, like if she's just had somebody, like her spouse just died or whatever, it's like, and then that's not helpful. They need to hear from us.
They really do. And even if you call, even if you text, I have a friend who lost his brother in July, and about once every other week I leave a voicemail of a joke. So they're really bad jokes. I really like him. I crack up, and he called me a couple months ago and said, those jokes are really, really bad, but I love hearing you laugh, and hearing you laugh makes me feel good. And so that's that human being part. You don't have to be serious. You can just take your relationship the way it is and be who you are in your relationship already.
Okay,
and I think
I love that.
Important. And I also want to kind of extend that to coworkers, because it's also sometimes hard when coworkers are going through a difficult time. But be who you are as a coworker. If they're going through a hard time and they're at work, just be like, hey, what's going on? If that's the way you always approach them the same way. People who are dealing in crisis really appreciate the groundedness and how that relationship stays the same, and that you're not always going, oh, how are you?
Right.
Okay. And that whatever ailment they're going through is not the center of the conversation. They need to be reminded that they're human beings with cancer, human beings going through divorce, or human beings who have a loss. They're not a person with loss.
Yeah, I like that. But does it work the other way? Like, is there a problem the other direction where we don't mention it? Like, we're acting like it isn't happening.
Yes. And I think that's the other thing too, is like, it's like, look, their lives are turned upside down. So every morning when this person wakes up, they remember, I'm just going to use cancer because it's
because everybody's affected by it. Let's face it.
Every morning they wake up and they go, crap, I have cancer. So it's really important that you can say to them, I am so sorry, this is your journey, and I'm going to make you laugh through it. Or I'm just so sorry. You can acknowledge it. I think the hardest thing is people want to make it feel better. So they'll say, I'm so sorry. And at least it's the good kind of cancer, or at least it's...
Oh God, don't ever say that, right? I learned that from you.
Yes. And that's actually, I think it's in the 3rd chapter, which is what not to say.
Okay.
You say at least, you are diminishing their experience. So you're saying, I'm really sorry it's cancer, but the good news is, and they can do that when they want to, but to acknowledge that they're going through something that really is life-changing, stage 1 or stage 4, it's life-changing, it's life-altering. So acknowledging that is really important. And then be who you are.
Beautiful. I love that. Okay. So we found out what not to say. What are some other things what not to say?
Something which I hated was someone said, I know how you feel. And unless you have had this cancer, then you really don't say, I know how you feel, because you really don't. Yeah. And I know it's a way that we want to connect and relate. We want to say, hey, I know how you feel because I'm getting divorced. Or so if I have cancer, someone says, I know how you feel because I'm getting divorced and I understand that loss. Not exactly the same. No, the secret is, in the grand scheme of things, it really is the same. But your friend with cancer doesn't want you feeling like saying to, oh, I know how you feel. Because it's also an offhanded comment.
Yeah.
So that's something that's just not helpful to say.
Yeah.
The other thing is, don't go in with my uncle, brother, sister, neighbor, best friends, so-and-so had cancer twice and they beat it. Like, again, it's dismissive of what your friends with cancer experience is right now. And I think that's the most important thing, is to take the time to honor their experience. Sit in the silence. Say, I'm so sorry this is happening to you.
Yeah. Presence.
Presence is so important. It's hard to do because it's hard to sit in that space. But your friend with cancer will so appreciate, they'll get that you get it. They'll get that you don't get it. They'll get that you're open. They'll get that you see them. And that's really what an act of love is all about. I see you and I'm so sorry this is your journey. And here's what I can give to you in that moment.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to go through every chapter because there's a lot of chapters here. Can we talk about things that make her go vroom? Chapter 7. For those who are watching, I'm gonna, like, what page does that start on? Acts of Love. What color is it?
It's yellow.
Yellow. Okay. So let's go to yellow. This is cool.
Yeah,
most of us take our card. Okay, this is cool. I just want to show people how cool this book is. Look at that.
Thank you.
That's super. So let's talk about acts that have to do with your car.
Yes. So on a regular basis, anything that goes wrong with the car is a pain in the neck, right? I mean, you turn your car and the check engine light goes on and you drive yourself to work, but the whole time you're thinking in your head, what's going on? I need to make an appointment with my mechanic. I don't understand. I need to check the manual. I need to look it up. So your mind is already distracted. That's on a normal basis. You're getting your car to go get cancer treatment and the check engine light goes on and it's taken to a whole new level. Right. So one of the most often overlooked ways to help is with their car. One of my favorite examples is my car needed to be registered, and it was something that Art always took care of. And so after he died, the car needed to be registered. And yes, I could have totally done it myself, but it took a ton of extra energy. And someone said, hey, I noticed that your tags are expired. Do you need to register your car? And I was like, yes. And so they did it for me, and they came up and stuck the little sticker on the back of the license plate. And if it was something that I had even thought about, I wouldn't have asked anybody because it would have been so embarrassing that I couldn't take the 5 or 10 minutes to do it. But I really want everyone to know that when you have cancer or you're dealing with loss or anything else, it takes more than 5 to 10 minutes because your brain is off doing something else. It takes a huge amount of effort to do such the simple things that you could do on your own. And yet I was embarrassed. There was no way I was going to ask anybody to do it. So I love that. Filling someone's car with gas. And Tricia, you know the story. I tell the story of my neighbor who came up and said, when was the last time the oil was changed in your car? And I couldn't even tell him if the light was on. And he said, leave the keys in the mailbox. I'll take it for you tomorrow. And so he not only changed the oil in the car, but he had it cleaned inside and out and filled it with gas. And I got in the next day and started to cry because I didn't even realize how much these things were weighing on me until he took them off of me. It was such a simple and thoughtful thing to do. It took him all of an hour, and I've been talking about it for years because it is one of those things that just meant so much to me.
That is so sweet. I love that. But these are things we could do for our girlfriends. Like I used to, when I was a kid and I didn't have any money, to give gifts, I would write out like, you get breakfast in bed, like you give it to my sister, or my mom, or this is for a free massage. Cause I always gave good massages, you know, or something like that. And it's like, it just brings me back to that. Like there's things we can do for people. They're so much more meaningful than a gift.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Absolutely.
And it's like, they're acts of love. It's exactly what they are.
Exactly. Yeah. I had a male coworker look at the book and he goes, I'm going to take this, I'm going to rewrite it and make it the 100 Acts of Love, how to stay in a relationship with your girlfriend.
Exactly.
Because he said, oh my God, I could go fill her car with gas. That would be such a simple thing for me to do.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah. So one of my favorite tips,
let's hear about
favorite tips is the, here it is.
What number?
It's number 48.
Okay.
It's I'll show it to you. It's stock her bathroom.
Oh.
So you can be a bathroom stalker. And what that is, when you think about what here's what I tell people when they can't figure out what to do or what to say for their friend. I say, go through your day. First thing you do when you get up in the morning is you put your feet on the floor. Do you like to wear slippers? Slippers might be a great gift. Then you walk into the bathroom, you use the bathroom. Is there toilet paper? Do you know there's toilet paper in the house? Then maybe you want to brush your teeth and wash your face or jump in the shower. All those things require toothpaste, a toothbrush, shampoo, a razor, moisturizer, makeup, a toothpick thing a water thing that you use on your teeth. Those are all simple little things that you can do. And so to make sure that she's never out of toilet paper, or if she is, she doesn't have to waddle far with her pants down her legs to find it. That's a gift. I will make sure that you are always stocked with toilet paper in your house. And it's a simple thing for you to do, because next time you go to the store, you buy it, you drop it off on the front stoop. It's a great thing that you two can laugh about, but it is one of those tips that is so very helpful to always know there's toilet paper in the house.
I love that.
That's something that I love.
Talk to me about, I think this is the last thing that I want to cover here, is talk to me about bringing food over for somebody who just lost somebody, or somebody who has, a sick one in the house.
Yeah, so that's something important. First, with cancer, depending on the type of chemo and the type of treatment, it kills living cells in your body. So it kills all the stuff that's in your stomach, that's lining in your stomach. It tends to kill your taste buds. So I know you're thinking of being helpful by bringing over, lasagna for 5 days, but that person with cancer may not be able to eat that. So check in with them about what they can bring, what they can eat. As far as loss, the joke my kids had, it was about 6 weeks after Art died. They were like, "Mom, no more lasagna." Like, we are so done with lasagna, because we had been getting lasagna from the time he was sick until after. We kept getting lasagna, and the kids were so sick of it. So what I always suggest is, if you really want to bring food, you can wait for 6 months, because the onslaught is always there for the first 3 months. People are always bringing food. Your friend with cancer or your friend who's dealing with loss is going to need a meal 6 months down the line. And it is the biggest surprise and help of what you can do when you show up when you call and say, "I have roasted chicken, lasagna, and asparagus. What do you want? Make a choice."
Love that.
And I would be very specific. Don't say, "I want to bring over something. What would you like?" Give them options so they can choose. Because again, what would you like from me on a regular basis is
I know. I would know it. I would know what to say.
I would know what to say. I'm like, chicken, no turkey, no beef, but this, and so if you say, "I have roasted chicken, I have a fried chicken, and I have roasted lamb, and I can bring asparagus with all three, or broccoli. What would you like?" They get to tell you. They get to feel like they're empowered, and they get to feel like they're having their needs met, instead of you just dropping something off that they're not going to eat anyway, and that just fills space up in their refrigerator.
And what about containers?
Oh, yes, containers. Thank you, Tricia. So please bring it in containers that can be thrown away or tossed. Do not bring over the dish. Do not bring over your Aunt Joni's beautiful dish, because you want it, the meal that you want to give, you want it all about presentation. Your friend with cancer cannot be responsible for that dish. She or he is just out of their minds. So don't put that additional pressure on them. Bring it in a container that can be thrown out, or that can be reused, that she can give back to you to bring more food in if she really likes what you bought. But take that burden off of them. And that also goes, another great way to help is give her a bunch of I know that this is environmentally not correct, but when you have cancer, you get to be environmentally not correct. Bring a bunch of paper plates and forks and spoons and knives over, because the last thing they need to be doing is thinking about loading and unloading that dishwasher.
Right.
It's just one more thing. So take the burden off of them and bring some extra plastic bags, garbage bags to help along. And I know that for people who are environmentally, it's really hard. It was hard for me to do, but it was a lifesaver, because I couldn't handle remembering to put the dishes in the dishwasher and to run it and to unload it. It was just too much.
Yeah, it's too much for me some days.
Yeah. It's only too much for me some days. Exactly.
Yeah, and I live alone. I'm like, oh, I have to do the dishes again, and I don't even cook. I mean, it's pathetic. So yeah, I can only imagine somebody has cancer or whatever. So Kimmy, these are awesome suggestions. Again, the book is 100 Acts of Love, A Girlfriend's Guide to Helping a Friend Through Cancer or Loss. It's a great guide for how to be a good girlfriend. And I know the people listening already are good girlfriends, because as emotional eaters, we are natural born caretakers and givers. So this is just a way to make it easier to give, to make your giving, be the most like direct and beneficial to the person you're giving to. But also this book itself is a great gift to give to other women, and other men as well, and how to help somebody who's going through loss. So, but give it, to me, the best thing is to buy it for yourself, so you're armed with like numerous ideas of what you can do for somebody to be helpful.
Buy a couple copies. I have friends who do that. They keep, a friend of mine bought 2 copies, and then she's like, well, I need another one because I don't want to give my 2 away. So she kept one for herself, and then she gave her 2 away. It's, I wrote it so that it could be the most helpful in the quickest amount of time. I wanted people to be able to open it up and go, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, help pay for camp for her kids. Great, done. Close the book and off you go.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. And thanks for, I know it was such a labor of love, and it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And to turn your very, very unfortunate, sad, experience, of course, of losing your husband, your dear husband, and then bringing that experience to something that can help other people in such a practical way is absolutely amazing. So blessings to you for doing that.
Tricia.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will see you on the next show. And if you haven't, if you're listening to this before the holidays, happy holidays. And we love you so much. Take good care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tricia. Thank you so much for having me. I adore you. I love everything that you're doing. It's just amazing. So thank you for sharing what you have learned through your hardship and sharing it with the rest of the world. It's so
much. I forgot to ask you my last question, which is, what are you really hungry for? Or what's your deepest hunger, as that's what it is?
Ooh. My deepest hunger is to have people connect with each other, to really feel connected. To feel seen and loved and appreciated. I think Beautiful. that's my deepest hunger. Yeah. Great question.
Yeah, you share so much light and love with the world. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you on the next show.
All right.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.